Hi, good afternoon. It's Gene from the Mavstar Observatory. Guys, you're looking at the map of the United Kingdom, and this is coming from the Met Office, and I don't think all these stickers that have been slapped on there with the flood warnings has been a result of someone drinking too much Red Bull at the Met Office. It is actually lots of flood alerts and warnings in place, including 6 severe flood warnings. And even where I am in central England here, it is causing chaos. We'll get into it in a minute, but before we do, I want to say special thanks to Alex for your donation today, and Douglas. Guys, it's guys like you that actually keep this observatory going, and all our patrons. Every day I mention that there is a link there for anyone that wants to support the efforts that we do. And we're not just talkers, we're actually proactive. As you guys know, we build equipment. Recently we've built some muon detectors which are going out this month to Brazil, South Australia, Central, and there'll be many more locations for the muon detectors to go out, as well as more magnetometers. And we also get involved with building of other bespoke equipment like oxygen sensors, so we can keep tabs on how much oxygen is in our atmosphere, as well as CO2. Occasionally we take a sample of the CO2 outside, and we may do a few more inside at various places here, so that we can give you an idea of just how much CO2 can be in an environment, or any particular environment. So yeah, it's causing chaos. And if you're British, Scottish, Welsh or Irish, and you're driving on the roads, you will know, as well as I will, as well as anyone else would, that they're falling to bits, aren't they? There is potholes on virtually every road, and some of them are quite severe, so just be careful out there. But over here where I am, in the rural areas, we're getting a lot of flooding, and that's because the rainwater is just literally running clean off the fields, and to the point where it's actually carrying all the soil with it. So we've got like bright orange rivers running down the sides of the roads that are not flooded at the moment. But the other day I think I had to go about 15 miles out my way just to avoid driving through floods. I want to say this. I've noticed this everywhere there's a flood of a reasonable size. I'm talking probably 12 inches, 16 inches of water. There's always a BMW for some reason. And I was mentioning to my brother about this. There was, because I was on my way to his the other day, and there was this BMW in the middle of the flood. Obviously, other cars, smaller cars even, were going round it. So I said to my brother, is there something wrong with these BMWs? He says, I think so, because we've pulled in about 30 of them the other day, just locally, and all of them were BMWs. So I don't know whether it's the air intake is too low, and it's sucking it up into the the pistons when it's gasping for its air to burn with the fuel, and as a result, it's hydraulic in them pistons and probably bending the con rods as a result of that. But yeah, just be careful if you've got a BMW. Don't attempt to go through, this hadn't even come up to the door line of the car, this flood, and it stopped. And if you have got to go through these floods, go through as slow as you can. Because I see some people that haven't got a clue about it. They actually, they accelerate through it, causing a big wake, and obviously no consideration for people's houses that are at the side of the road where the flood is. And then when you cause a big wake, that goes into that person's house even more. So just crawl through it nice and slow. You might save yourself the car, and you could also save somebody's living room getting destroyed through a tidal wave coming through the door or the letterbox. So yeah, unbelievable, isn't it, to see 154 flood alerts, and some of them are severe as well. And this, guys, is a result of one thing that we particularly follow on this channel, a strange anomaly that has led to the increase in inbound cosmic radiation, and that's the magnetic pole reversal. It's not just that though, as you guys know if you follow me, it's also the grand solar minimum, which is 33 years of depleting sunspots, exponentially off the chart. We're currently at the end of the solar cycle, and you wouldn't expect to see any sunspots at this time, we probably might go for quite a couple of years now before we start seeing regular amounts of sunspots form. That's if they do. And the reason I say that is because the umbria of the sunspots has increased in heat, and that disfavours the production of a sunspot. So there is changes taking place with our sun, and our Earth is also going through a magnetic reversal, and both of these stack up together, and they cause another problem, which is more inbound cosmic radiation into our upper atmosphere. And you guys should be already aware of what that causes. It causes a cloud seeding effect, and we're going to have a look at the jet stream that is delivering all this rain over the UK at the moment. But if you've got more cosmic radiation, you will increase the amount of cloud formation. That will in turn stretch and slow down the jet stream, causing it to fracture and break. And as a result, you know, when the humidity hits the right amount, it will drop that water out the skies, literally over where it is at that particular point, and it will cause devastation like this. I really don't know how the farmers are getting on at this point in time, because I would imagine that they've started to put their early crops in, and if the fields are saturated with water to the point that they're not absorbing any more water and it's just literally running off there, I'm just wondering whether that will lead to rot and deteriorate those seeds that they've put in there for that early crop. If that's the case, you know we can expect more food prices to go up during the middle of the year as a result of having to import more stuff into this country. So let's go and have a look at the jet streams over North Skull and see what the situation is over there. Well, you can see the jet stream which is looming over the United Kingdom right now, but you can also see that just at the fringe of that, at the end, it dips down almost into the tropical region and then sharply back up, and that could be what's causing the water that we're having right now be delivered over the UK, because we're getting that warm tropical air come up, mixed with the cold air at the other end of that jet stream, and as a result of the cold and warm air coming, we're going to get precipitation, and it's going to drop a lot of water. But you can see that the size of that jet stream, which is delivering that rain straight off the Atlantic Ocean. Another thing to just look at is this subtropical jet stream here, which is stretching right up. I just want to have a little look at that, because it is obviously this jet stream which is going all the way up in like a coil back up to the United Kingdom. So it's already drawing in a lot of that subtropical heat, and then as it comes up further northerly latitudes of the Earth, it drops it into the colder regions, and of course we're going to get a lot more rain as a result of that. So quite impressive. Let's have a look at the jet streams over the Antarctic. Yeah, and if we just switch this to temperature, you'll see that inside that like almost ring of jet streams will be slap bang in the centre, the coldest regions, so that you can see that when the jet streams stretch up further towards the equatorial region, coming from the Antarctic, any region within there is subjected to that sub-zero temperatures or those Arctic temperatures. It'll be the same case for over the northern hemisphere if we have a look at that, and then just switch it back to jet streams so that we can see what the scenario is. There you go. So if we go back to temperature, it should be slap bang in the centre, and you can see where the jet streams extend further towards the equatorial region from the northern hemisphere. It drags down that cold, and that's why the United States has been suffering with extended temperatures at lower latitudes. So guys, this is the results of a couple of things that we follow on this website. As you know, it is all to do with the magnetism of this planet. It is what protects us from harmful cosmic rays, not just for the fact that it protects us from cancer or carcinogenic particles, if you want to call them that. It also protects us from seasonal changes that we're experiencing right now. If you have prolonged periods of these dramatic weather changes, it's going to affect eventually the environment of which we all live in, and that will be globally affected. and that is what seems to be the case. So guys, I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to say big thanks again for all those people that support us. We are having a soldering session tomorrow to finish off those muon detectors, and we will then be asking people to come forward if they want to join us in taking on board a couple of these magnetometers and muon detectors in Brazil and South Central Australia. So guys, links down there if you want to support us, and I'll say what I usually do. You take care, have a great day, and as always, bye for now.